All right, let's get started, guys. Thank you for coming to this webinar today. It's very important message that I want to share with you guys. There is so many changes in the market that we've been experiencing in the last 6 months, and the market for house cleaning technicians seems to be getting harder and harder. But there is also good news because there's some other industries that are letting them go, and it's the perfect time for us to get these people in our companies. So my message today is how to increase our employee retention 10x. And that's typically from average 6 months, 3 to 6 months of what people are staying in the company to turn it into 60 months, which is about 5 years. And I've been able to do this in my business. Uh, and thankfully, I want to share this with you today. So, all right, let me share my screen with you guys. All right, so increasing employee retention 10x, and I'm Juan Chaparro, the CEO of Pipehire and Gmates. And I think you probably heard of me a bit, but we started our cleaning business around 16, almost 17 years ago, me and my wife in Dallas. And now last year, we launched Pipehire, which was basically a tool that we built for our own internal problems that we released to the public during COVID. And we've been helping other companies increase the chances of success with hiring. So um, what we're going to talk today is keeping our employees longer, loving them like family, and empowering them to thrive. These are my main three topics today, and let's get started here. So why you want to keep people longer? Typically, a good full-time employee will last about or will produce about 50, 55, maybe $60,000 a year in sales. Now, if you're able to retain somebody for 5 years, which will be the goal, 60 months, is about $250,000 in sales that this one person, one technician can bring in a last 5 years. So these are staggering numbers. Now, if you count that you have a company of 10 cleaning technicians, this would mean about $2.5 million in revenue that these technicians will generate compared to 3 to 6 months of revenue. So why is so important to retain them is because this reason. I've seen a lot of companies just hiring people and turn over people very quickly without thinking in the long term, which is this revenue that can be generated. And not only this, but the quality of life that you can give to this person. Plus, you can always uh, be more at peace running your business because when you have high turnover, you're always going to be stressed out. You're not going to sleep. You're going to be always putting fires down, and you don't want to do that. You want to have a good quality lifestyle, a good business that you know works without you having to stress a lot about turnover. So all right, the first thing is in the onboarding part. The very first thing to have longer retention of employees is that you bring the right people in the bus. I've seen a lot of people just hiring people randomly left and right without thinking of churn or turnover. They just have this immediate problem of hiring, and they just bring somebody that looks okay. And yeah, sometimes we have to do it because sometimes desperate situations, but we cannot be running around always hiring in this mode because you're going to have a lot of turnover. And this onboarding done right, it starts at your landing pages of your jobs, your application itself. All of these has to be so clear and so specific that will attract the right people. Sometimes we believe that just putting an ad that says house cleaning technician needed and the requirements, that's enough. And in reality, that's not enough. We need to go above and beyond that because people or applicants have a mindset that Yeah, I clean my house. It's not hard. Why I can't clean houses for other people? And in reality, is very different. You know that cleaning your own house and cleaning somebody's house is very different worlds. So when you explain clearly what's the job entails, then you're already filtrating a lot of people that will turn or will, turnover eventually. And we have done this by creating videos, on our YouTube channel. We have an ad, we created a video that we explain the job, we bring the job, and we let them know exactly what is the job about. And they explained you gotta be running around, you gotta be bringing products up and down the car, you gotta be sweating, you're gonna be with snow sometimes in different locations, and it's very very uh, fast paced. You gotta be driving all day long. So bringing this reality early on to people will help you already filtrate the wrong person. The second step will be the quick hiring slash interviewing process, especially for A players. I see that we tend to sometimes wait 1, 2, 3 days to call applicants that I've applied, and that is a big mistake. You have to call people that are especially A players on the same day. Those people, I see them just like when you see a good deal on a car, on a good deal on something, they're on sale. Sometimes when they are looking for a job and they're somewhat desperate and they are good players, you gotta get them on your bus immediately, and you have to call them on that same day. That's gonna help you bring them in your office quickly, interview them, and onboard them. So speed is very important when you're bringing the right people. Three, face-to-face interview must be able to discover how and they will react to day-to-day situations. Um, I see that sometimes we lack a lot of asking the right questions during our interviews. Sometimes we just run through a quick interview and we have a good feeling about it, and then, whoop, all right, let's go to training. But in reality, this is where the rubber meets the road. We want to ask them, hey, do you have a plan B when your nanny or your daycare is not open? What happens if your husband takes your car? Do you have an option? You want to have very specific questions to real day-to-day situations on how they will tackle those situations. Otherwise, they're going to be calling, I'm sorry, can come up today to the job. And, that becomes an absent day and then so on. And it's very important that during this interview, you've created these questions so you know exactly how they're gonna behave. Number four, explain compensation and payment clearly. Show them how they can make company and grow within the company. Sometimes, depending on the type of payment that you have, you might say, we'll pay you hourly, we'll pay you by the house, we'll pay by performance. Whichever model that you're using, you want to have a clear description and a way for them to understand how they're going to make money with your company. Don't assume they understand $10 an hour or pay by performance 42%, 45%. I've seen people that they don't understand the percentages. So you got to explain them with a chart. You brought $1,000 in sales and you are at 45%, that means $450 plus tips, plus this, minus your sale, minus your employment taxes, etc., etc. That is very important because again, if some people say, no, that's not enough for my job, that's not enough for me, okay, then I'm not going to onboard you. I'm not going to hire you. That is one less person I need to deal with in 3 months that I need to fire or she's going to leave. So the moment that you're onboarding people is the very best moment to leave things very clear and have expectations clear. Just like when you're selling a cleaning job, complaints come when the delivery of the service and the expectation of the client are different. You could have said on the phone XYZ thing, but then the client understood a different thing. And then that's when the complaint comes. And same way here, we want to deliver exactly what's going to happen as payment, or benefits, etc., so they can have it clear on their head. And then when they see the first check, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what they promised. I'm cool. Let's keep moving on. Very important. Fifth one will be explain company benefits and what's in it for them if they join your vision. Now, employee benefits are very, very important. Can't stress it enough. Benefits, very important. I know some companies cannot afford benefits right now, but you need to start to embed those benefits into your payment. Yeah, part of the reason why so many people are leaving or switching jobs from other industries is because they are not doing any benefits for them. So people are looking for something better, and the employee benefits part, we're going to explore it later, is very, very important. Let's move on to the next slide here. So how does a good employee retention program looks like in a day-to-day of your business? So typically, people will stay for 3 to 4 years in average or more. Ideally, those 5 years will give you an amazing number to go by. But most companies that I've seen that operate and run their business in a professional way and have a good employee retention, they're going to have about 3 to 4 years of uh, employment. And I've seen it, and I have employees of 10 years. They are one in a million, but there are people that really believe what you're doing and will stay with you for years. So you also have great job attendance. 95% of employees will show up every day. Um, this is a great indication that you have a stable workforce. They love working for you, and they're not going to be quitting next month. If you see a lot of people with bad attendance, those are signs they don't like the job. They're going to quit eventually. So please keep up this number. 95% of employees show up every day. And you can also track it by employee per day if you wanted to track attendance on a daily basis. I show you how to do that, but you have to have this goal, 95% show up attendance every day. Third point will be more senior employees like to help others get to the next level. I have three senior employees, not the age really of themselves, but mostly like, how many years they've been with me. And they're typically are recruiting people. They're helping people get to the next level. They are just like mentors, helping others become better. And they typically manage the pods or groups, small groups that we've created within the company. And there are groups of 3 to 5 cleaners that create a small group. And this small group is managed by one of these most senior employees, or you can call it pod leader. And they basically help you manage at a smaller scale a smaller group of people. This is something we implemented in the last few months, and we've seen really good results because people kind of have a smaller group already in their real life when they come to work, but when they have a chat for them and you give them a name, so it will be like, I don't know, the tigers, the panthers, they put names for their own group, and they create this smaller community of friends within the work, within the job place. This helps retain people longer because now this is not just a dead-end job. This is a place where I have friends, they're paying me well, where I have benefits. uh, I enjoy this job because I was onboarded properly, I was trained properly. So all these things start to add up potentially to have a better retention program for your business. So everything really starts, and you control all of that yourself at the beginning of who you bring into the company. What do you sell? How do you sell your company vision to an employee or a potential employee? So a lot of the retention is really about you, about the management, about how you run your business, how you keep all this machinery going without failing. We always think it's like, oh, they left my company, or it's them, but really it's a lot about us And we always point our finger to the other person, but it's a lot about us, the business owner. If you're a good leader, if you have a good program in place, people want to stay around you. They want to work with you. They want to work for you because you have figured out a good system and they admire you too. I've seen that the admiration part is very important. When employees admire who you are, what you do, the vision of your company, all of these things is like, well, yeah, there's another cleaning companies in my city, but I love working for this company. I love working for this person. Their vision is something that I engage with. All those things create this retention. Very important. All right. So next point is no issues getting trainers. When you have great employee retention, you have no issues getting trainers because everybody wants to be a trainer. There's, people volunteer to be trainers because they love being here and they want other people to experience this, to be part of this company, to have the benefits of this company. And the best part of this is, when you have a good employee retention program, when you have people recruiting other people for you, they're just bringing their friends, their family, their coworkers, church members. That's for me the cream of the crop, and that tells me, or it sends a message to me, that we have found a good formula to retain people. Because just like you do in your own life, when you find something of value, something that you enjoy, something that you like, you tell your friends about it, you share with your friends. And that's exactly the same thing that happens here. People will say to their friends, hey, I have a good job at a good company, why don't you come apply? I recommend you. And this is very important, very important. You're gonna see that this is gonna be the most beautiful part of this business, is when you don't have to think about finding people, is they just come to you. And but this momentum is created by you. You have to have everything right in the right place, and that's gonna bring this momentum, which then brings you employees. And then suddenly you don't have to spend a lot of money on Indeed finding people. They just come to you. Obviously, we got to keep advertising for sure. You never stop advertising to get people, but you don't have to spend thousands of dollars a month bringing people from Indeed or other systems to you, because your own employees are just generating this word of mouth, and that's what you want to create. All right, let's move on to the loving part. So the next section is called loving. You got to show them you care for them. And the way you do that is by recognition. You got to recognize their performance, their compliments, their birthdays, their anniversaries. All of these things, very, very important. So they will feel valued. They feel like somebody cares about them. Remember, most of these blue collar workers, they've been ignored for years in whichever job they had in the past. So when you recognize them, you're gonna see good benefits, such as here. This is an example of what we've been doing lately. Is we bought these little lapel pens that we found on Amazon. You can buy them yourself. Uh, I can share the link later. And these pins basically have like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, up to I think at 10 years or so. And you're gonna buy these little pins, and every time somebody hits a year or two or three, you give their pin. That could be in a annual meeting, or but they have to feel recognized, and this pin means a lot for them. And you will see this when they mention to you, hey, I wear my pen, and the customer mentioned, like, wow, 5 years with this company. That gives also peace of mind to the customer. They're not going to be like so on top of the employee because checking what they did. So this type of recognition helps the employee feel valued, recognized, and also the customer, when they see 5 years on a pen, they're going to be like, oh, good, she has experience. I don't have to be here on top of this person, micromanage them. So it's very important that you recognize them this way with these little pins. Uh, the birthday is very important. I've been guilty myself that in the past, I didn't recognize them. We forget. We're like, oh, today was Carla's birthday. Oh, let me call her. I was always in the reactive mode. And the reactive mode is not good. You cannot be in a reactive mode every time. You have to be already planned into the month, whose birthdays are today, this week or this month, which anniversaries are coming up this month. This is especially very important when you have more than 10 cleaning technicians. When you have less than five, three, well, you're not going to have this many birthdays or anniversaries coming up every week or every month. But recognition of birthdays or anniversaries are very important. Very important. I can stress that enough. Second point here will be continue training. As you know, most other like technicians, you could say electricians, plumbers, and people that have some type of trade, they have to continually renovate their licenses, and they have to still kind of get some type of training to continue on their path. So obviously for cleaning, there's no licenses that you have to really clean a house, but it's very important that you offer continued training. Very important. And you can do that by doing it uh, every every month or every quarter or at the least 6 months. But my recommendation is that you do every quarter a good training. If you don't have an idea what to train them on, go and look at your complaints list and say, okay, I see a lot of bathrooms issues. Okay, let's get to training to bathrooms only. Oh, look, I see a lot of flooring problems. So out of your complaints, you can get ideas of what you need to train them on. Doesn't have to be something spectacular. It's just look at your complaints of everyone in your company and then decide, okay, let's gonna do a training about bathrooms. So continue training, 3 months, ideally 6 months, too much, every month, a lot is very, it's a lot to us for us as business owners, but every quarter, a good training will get you very good results. And the third point here will be offer benefits that make their quality of life better. Uh, I spoke about that before, but if you don't have enough budget for that, you could say, okay, I'm gonna offer them a gym membership of $10 a month. You can do that. AAA for their car. That's like $80 a year, $100 a year. Starbucks card, $25 recharge automatically. You can start by small increments of something that will cost you, I don't know, $10 to $50 a month. But ideally, you want to get into, maybe offering them some type of health benefits, some type of retirements. Well, all of those things that really feel like, wow, this is a big company. I'm getting all these benefits. But if you don't have the budget or the funds right now, you can start small, but you can start to make an impact. Don't wait until you gotta have the big budget. You can start small, but start doing it now. If people don't feel these benefits, you're gonna start to see more churn, more people leaving your company because down the road they found a job that they have a program for a gym membership. So benefits very important. Let's move on here. Here's a photo of one of my three of our cleaning techs. They are my top trainers, and I gave them. There's a pin that's for trainers only. So they wear these pins very proud on their shirt, and they when they go to the houses, customers like, wow, you're a trainer? Yeah, I'm a trainer. Oh, wow. So think about this. The barrier of stress for a customer, if they're going to do a good job or not, it just goes down. And you want to do that. You don't want to have people stressed out and stressing your customer, your employee, or calling the office if they did something or not. You want to have the customers on the calm side versus the stress side. And these pins sends a psychological message to them that, look, this is a trainer, or look, this is a person that's been here 5 years. And this is a double impact for your customer, for your employee. And those pins cost less than like $3 per pin. And the impact, if you look at cost versus impact, it's huge. It's huge. So I invite you to look at these options. You can create your own if you want it, but this is already made. It's not a no-brainer. Let me look here the chat. Hold on. Okay, thank you. All right, let's look at the next screen. All right. Are you sure you care for them? The fourth point will be create a pledge that shows how you care for your employees. The pledge is different from your mission and different from your vision. Those are like company mission and company vision are different things than a pledge. The pledge is a commitment, a promise that you do for your employees, not your clients, not you, your employees. So in our case, ours says pay living wages and benefits to our employees so they can raise their families in a safe and comfortable environment. That is our pledge to my employees. When they apply and when they see, when we're onboarding them, this is part of what we share. This is our pledge to you. So this is a commitment for us to pay you benefits, pay you good wages, so you can raise your family in a good and safe environment. Typically, most of our employees tend to live in, not so good neighborhoods, and they probably are single moms trying to get out of this ugly apartment complex into their own little house. So when you pledge to them and you offer them these um, benefits and these values, they're gonna be like, wow, I love this is a different company, let me work here, let me stay here. So create a pleasure on your own. It's not very hard. It's a simple promise that will make their quality of life better. Always you want to hire people that are gonna go up in their life. If you're bringing somebody from a higher position in life to cleaning, they're gonna feel like they went down in income and in position. You always want to hire people from a lower position to a higher position to really feel great about this new job. Right. Fifth point will be quarterly events, barbecues, workshops. When people eat together, they bond to each other. So I spoke about every quarter doing a training, and the way we do that is we do a training, and then we do like a barbecue or a type of meal, or we bring some catering, or we go to a restaurant together. But the goal is that these quarterly events, you train them, but at the same time you feed them. When this happens, they feel like they got a lot of value out of a Saturday 9 to 1 or 9 to 12. You train them for about 2 hours on the topics that you need to train them: complaints, new policies, new procedures, new services, etc. And then you feed them and you give them good quality stuff that they feel like, wow, this is a different company. That's going to give you an impact. That's going to, the cost of a good, per person on a barbecue is like $20, $18. You got 10 employees times 12 times 18 to 20, that's $200. You might spend $200, $300 per event every quarter. That's $1,200 a year, or let's say 2,000 on the higher end. but the impact it creates is huge because you're training them and you're feeding them as well at the same time. This creates so much value for your company and your employees. So I recommend you do this as soon as you can. All right, so now let's switch to the empowering side. And this is help them thrive, not survive. And you know, years ago, people would like pay $10 an hour, $8 an hour, and that was fine. Back then, people could literally pay anything and they will just get employees in the door. Nowadays, things have changed a lot, and we need to help them thrive really at this point. Let's look at these links here briefly. Um, Basically, chains like Subway and Dunkin' Donuts are basically having a really hard time finding people. Seems like the pandemic really shift perspective on people and they want to be at a better position, a better job. Okay, so these companies are really struggling to find people is because these jobs are really a dead end job. I mean, you flip burgers, you serve coffee, and that's it. Now, the one company that's been able to really build a good culture and a good employee retention programs is Starbucks, for example. They offer them some health benefits, some education benefits. They're kind of the best of the best as far as you know food chains. So I want you to take a look at these articles. They are posted in our Facebook group, and let me show you a little bit more. And I'll tell you exactly what we need to do here. Sorry, right here. This is one for Target that says that they basically raised wages, but then cut workers' hours and double their workload. This is something not to do. You cannot increase time wage and then offer more, put more workload. You really have to improve the job. You cannot just fake it and pay more, but then give them more work. So people are not stupid. People want to have a better job. So it's our mission to get all these people that are coming from retail jobs, fast food chains. And this is the very best moment for us to give them a better job. These people are not going to get jobs in an office and selling marketing or doing some type of complicated job out there. Their very best options are service businesses, solar panel installations, alarm stuff, and these services that are kind of like a visit to somebody's home and do something at their home. And house cleaning has the potential to be the very best option for that. So this is our very best moment to really bring these people into our companies, but then we have to have our onboarding process clear. We got to have our benefits in place. We got to have our trainings in place. Everything that's really going to help you retain these employees into your company. So it's not just bring them, retain them. It's more important. Retention is more important than bringing people. So because you're not hiring thousands of people a year like Amazon does. They hire thousands of people every year. They can have a lot of turnover, but they're gonna find another 1,000 people. You know, the biggest companies that I know cleaning houses are 40, 50 employees. That's it. You don't need hundreds and thousands of people to be employed. You need to retain more than those than hire more people. If you can hire one person a month for 12 months, that's 12 employees. In 22 years, it's 24 employees. Now you're a 1.2, 1.3 million a year revenue company. If you're now in the 30 something employees, you're probably in the 1.8, close to $2 million a year business. So we don't need to hire a lot of people. We gotta be experts of retaining people more than finding people. So let's look at our last article here. these hotels cutting on daily cleaning. So a lot of hotels had to let people go because people didn't want people cleaning while they were there staying. So this is another sector of the market that's uh, bringing us possible applicants. So we want that. We want those applicants to come to our companies and work, but you got to have everything in place. So all right, so let's move on here. Uh, the next slide here is okay. How do you empower people? How do you empower these employees? Well, the first thing is you have to offer them a career path. They have to feel, and there has to be a career path. I know it's hard. I'm finding the best solutions for this, for my own business too. But this is not going to be like a 20-year career path where they will, work or all their life. But a 5-year career path is reasonable. And if you get somebody that stays longer than this, then great. I have one person that's been with me 10 years. I love her. She's amazing. But I know at some point she most likely will quit uh, because, she hit all the possible growth within the company possible. But a 5-year career path is realistic. And then the next step will be the personal development webinars that can help them improve their quality of life. And this is about doing uh, not training on cleaning. This is about their personal life. That's why we are empowering them to thrive, not to survive. So how do you thrive? You gotta be better at your finances. You gotta be better at your health, how you eat, how you behave. You gotta have a better family relationship with your kids, your husband, your wives, whatever. So we have to help them get in a better position in life to really mean to thrive. And in the past, we were like, oh, as long as they work here and I don't care if they thrive. No, no, no. It's not good anymore. You got to help them thrive, not survive. And this is where we started to bring in personal development, webinars, coaches to help us with these three areas in life: the financial side, the health side, and the family side. When you have these three things in place, most of your life, most of your life is in order and things work. If you have a good job, you have a good finances, then you can eat better, you can enjoy a vacation, you can purchase things for your kids, you can take your kids on a vacation. And when you have a good family relationship, then your health is better, then your health relationship with your husband or wife is better. So all of these things really impact the life of these employees, and we want to impact them positively, not just with money, but with other things. So when they're thinking on leaving this company, they think like, wow, I get so much value in this company, not just a good check, not just benefits. I've been growing a lot personally, professionally. I can find another company around town that will do this. So all of these things will help you retain them longer. Now, on the third point, we went to the extreme of offering a house buying program with local realtor. So I have a good friend. I'm sure you have a realtor that is a friend of yours, and we've done, workshops in which we help them or teach them how to fix their credit, how to start saving for their first house, how to get out of debt. Um, but specifically, the buying of a house is such a big goal for everyone, that we want them to really get that. And I've seen a couple of my employees buy their houses, not in this market now, but last year and 2 years ago, some of them bought their first house. And you gotta send them a little house, party, a little gift to this house as well. So, all these things really impact. So, and the fourth point here is English and Spanish classes, depending of what language they don't speak. And you can pay the 50% by your company. There is a couple of options. They can go to a college or they can do it online. But these things don't cost much and make a big impact. So I want to see if there's any questions, guys, so far. This point, you can write them in the chat, and love to answer any questions. Let me see some comments here. Um, Deborah says, we give them books to read for personal development, personal cakes for their birthday, Thanksgiving potluck, free legal services for a month. There you go. Great. Yeah. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, the ideal is that they become better. They feel like when they started in this company and a couple of years have passed by, they are better. They are in a better position in life. And you can ask them. And I asked my employees, hey, when I hire you 2 years ago and today, is your life better? Yes, it's better. Okay, perfect. So our company is impacting their life positively. And you want to do that. Otherwise, you're always going to be rotating people and you're not going to be able to enjoy a self-running business, and you got to be spending a lot of time interviewing, hiring, etc., etc. So uh, I just want to share, this is how I've run and built my own business in the last 17 years. Obviously, the very first 10, the very first 5, I was cleaning with my wife. And then the next 12 been running, us cleaning, managing the employees. And now it's more of really putting the right people in the management position, sales, marketing, etc., so you can really grow the business. um, all right, I have a mention here from the far side. Okay, love your advice, very heartfelt and genuine. Thank you so much. I really like that you mentioned this. Don mentions read those articles when you post them on the other night on YouTube. Very informative. Thank you. Yeah, read those, guys. Very important. You need to be, you gotta look in Google News, housekeeping, house cleaners, blue collar workers, and you gotta learn about our market. We gotta be on the edge of how we find people, how we recruit people. Uh, thank you, Don. Yeah. So now, there's a question here. How can we find better culture company when you have office, home, and storage units, and you see them 3 times per week? Okay. All right, Ursula. The question is, how do you build a better company culture when you have a home office and you have a storage and not a kind of real office, and you see them a couple of times a week? That is created by obviously having a great manager in place that's seeing them every day or every week, but also the onboarding process has to be amazing, has to be clear. And for us, obviously, I'm not on top of my employees every day because I don't live in Dallas all the time. So the way we build this company culture is through Zoom calls, just like we're doing now, and through these quarterly webinars, these quarterly barbecues and events. So every 3 months, without a fault, we go and see them and meet with them and spend quality time with them. But on a daily basis, there has to be somebody that's the reflection of you pretty much into these employees, and they can experience your company culture. Obviously, with using the technology we have today, WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, all of these tools for messaging, you can keep people very connected. It won't be the same as in person, but that is the way we build it. Uh, and and very important, the mission or vision of your company. if you're accomplishing your mission and vision in the pledge that I mentioned, they're gonna feel like they belong to this company. They want to be here. So start there. It's not. This is not rocket science. It's really about being involved with them. Doesn't have to be on a daily basis because I am not involved on a daily basis with them, and things have worked. But it's because the overall vision and mission and what we do transmit that particular message to their heart, to their minds, so they can be confident that this is a good company that is well run, well managed, and they want to be there. So um, there's another question here. Did you see that Indeed raised their price to $10 per applicant? Yes, Don, I've seen it. And in fact, uh, we recently started, or we started working with a couple of clients to run their Indeed campaigns, and seeing different markets and different cities, I've seen that Indeed for some cities charge per applicant $10 or 8, and some other markets or cities they charge per day. So and I call Indeed and I ask them why you do that, and it's like, oh, we're just A/B testing what's the best revenue for Indeed, if it's per person or applicant, or if it's per day. And it's crazy. The prices of recruiting people are just getting so expensive. And my opinion is we cannot depend completely depending on Indeed completely. We have to have other strategies that help us. And I did a webinar last month about other strategies that are text message marketing to your old list of applicants, um, WhatsApp marketing using your current employees that you already have to share with your friends and families, uh, Facebook jobs in different groups. Free strategy requires work, of course, but you have to have at least 3 to 4 strategies that you're using to find employees or applicants. If you're depending 100% on Indeed, you're going to spend a lot of money. And sometimes Indeed has good months that brings you good people, and some months you can find anybody good. So just like with your cleaning employees, your cleaning clients, you cannot just depend on Google search. You have to be on Yelp. You have to be on other platforms. You have to have word of mouth, whatever. All these strategies that we have for finding customers, we have to think that we must have other strategies for finding people in our business. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you're looking to other strategies. If you're into our YouTube channel, you look for Pipehair in YouTube. There is my last webinar I did. I explain exactly how I do text marketing campaigns for applicants. And that is one of my favorite strategies because you are basically recycling old applicants that you've collected through the years. So I never delete an applicant, never, never. And I have about 600 to 700 applicants that I collected in the last years. And every time I need new applicants, I send them a blast text message. And don't believe every 2 or 3 people show up that they're interested to work. And I hire that way. I get people through Facebook, recommendation of other employees, and through Indeed. But my favorite, the best bang for my buck for me has been obviously employees telling other persons to work with you, and then these text marketing recycling leads. So never delete your applicants, keep them, even if they're not a good fit now, because they're too far, they don't have a car, they don't have a driver's license, whatever. Those things can change in the last, could change in the last 2 years or 1 year or 6 months. So every time we need somebody, we send a blast. And some of those situations in life have changed. People were not available at that moment. They didn't have probably a daycare, but now they did find a daycare. So all these things will help you recuperate some of your investment and money that you spent on Indeed 2 years ago. You keep recycling them. So here's a question. Do you recommend using ZipRecruiter? You know, I've used ZipRecruiter. The quality of their applicants is not as good as Indeed. Indeed is clearly the leader of applicants, but I do try it as well. I try to put some budget there too, and then see what comes into our funnel. But you really want to test your market, and I feel this could change based on city to city. If you're in a small town, medium-sized city in the US, you're going to have different results if you're in a Dallas city or LA type of market that are huge. So those things change on a market to market basis. I recommend that you try it, give it 2 to 3 months. 1 month is not enough, but try it, put a small budget and see what you get out of those ZipRecruiter applicants. What kind of benefits you offer to your employees if they can help you recruit someone you hire? All right. So simple as you give them $300 on the third month that they that this person they brought in, they stay for 3 months, you give them $300. So, but I found that really these people that are bringing people to you, the motivation is not 100% the money. The motivation to them is to spread the word of this good job to other people they know. So you could even do this without paying them anything, and if they love your job, they will bring people, even if you pay them nothing, because they feel like they're helping other people by bringing them into your company. But obviously, sometimes they go out of their way to tell their friends, maybe send an email, send a text message, and it's good to pay them for their effort. So it's a little carrot that helps them remember to, oh, look, this cashier looks good, let me give them a card. We give them cards as well. You got to have business cards for them. They put their name. You don't have to create one for each person, but you just give them these little cards and they will spread the word for you as well. Cool. So that is the benefit. Other questions here. Jacqueline says my last A player hire came from text blasting marketing, thanks to ones from last month's webinar. Oh, so happy to hear that, Jackie. Yeah, guys, if you've been in business for more than 3 years, you at least have 200, 300 applicants in your database somewhere in a spreadsheet. Somewhere you're gonna have leads, applicants that you never hired or they were never ready. So collect this list. You got to have their name, email, phone number, and that's it pretty much. You put it in a spreadsheet and you post it on this text. I use textline.com, which is a SMS message system. You just upload the list, you create your copy, boom, you send it out, and you won't believe it. You start to get people to reply. And then you start to create these conversations, and then you send them the link to apply, and then you get them to apply again to your company. And it's amazing. You can't believe how well this works. So if you've been in more than 10 years in business, you'll probably have thousands of applicants that you can recycle. And people move from town to town, yeah, of course. So it's a percentage of people that would say, I don't live in Dallas anymore. Okay, fine. Do you know somebody that lives in Dallas that needs this job? Please share this to them. And I've seen people recommending with just like that. So, and this doesn't cost you more than $20, $30 to blast hundreds of people. So that is my recommendation. um, Let me move on here. Oops, sorry. Let's see what else I have here for you guys. All right, so I wanted to show you guys briefly here a video I did for how we are able to bring all these remembering of birthdays, anniversaries, tracking complaints, compliments, how I'm able to do that without having to keep spreadsheets or whiteboards in my office to track all these things. So I want to show you a video I did from our sponsor, PipeHire, and show you how I'm able to keep track of all these things. So let me share here my audio here. Share sound. Like this is like about a minute and a half video, but I really show you here why we build PipeHire and why it's so effective when you want to manage people and you want to retain them longer. And you can do this on your own using your own spreadsheet or your own whiteboard, but we build this tool to really make it easy for you and to really impact your business on a very low cost, but it creates so much value. So check it out. Hey everyone, this is Juan Chaparro, the co-founder of PipeHire. It's right here. And some of them need to how retention strategy. As you can see, the most important part of keeping your employees is putting the right people on the bus. And this is where the job application comes into play, asking the right questions and scoring each answer. The forms can be customized to fit your own business needs. PipeHire comes with a pre-made cleaning technician job application right out of the box, designed specifically for the house cleaning industry, and a scoring system that qualifies each applicant as A, B, or C player. This saves you time and money by pre-selecting for you those applicants you should move to the interviewing stage, and avoid wasted time sorting through resumes or emails. This is a proven method built in-house using proprietary technology and cleaning business know-how. So this will do the heavy lifting for you so you can focus on growing your business and revenue. I'm sure you often forget to activate benefits for new hires. Don't worry anymore. We've got your back. PipeHire will send you notifications every time someone reaches 90 days of employment so you can activate their benefits and keep track of them. Show your employees how you really care about them. Part of keeping employees longer is to be able to track their attendance and vacations. Within PipeHire, you can do this to stay organized and free up your mind. Now you can eliminate the whiteboard in the office or spreadsheet and finally track vacations, days off, and missed days the right way. Every employee wants to be loved and celebrated on their birthday, work anniversaries, and when they do a good job. PipeHire will remind you about all these important dates all within your dashboard. You can even congratulate them via text message when you click here. And last but not least, track all compliments and complaints using this handy tracker. Keep employees on the loop for client feedback via text messages and show them how you care about their performance and quality of work. And lastly, track all company events, benefits, and expiring documents within the same platform so your business runs smoothly, creating the sense of security and a steady paycheck to your employees when they see a well-run and managed company. All right, guys. All right, guys. Thank you. That was part of our sponsor today. And the last thing I want to share here with you is if you have questions you want to ask me, feel free to reach out to this one at pipehirehrm.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Or you can join our group. Look for PipeHire HRM in the groups section and just join there. There's about 400 people just talking about employees and hiring and management or cleaning technicians. And I'm glad that you guys got some value out of this webinar. And I'm going to be presenting a little bit more of this topic on SendMate later on this month. So I hope to see you around, and thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope you can put this into practice and go out there and find very great people for your business. All right. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.